Now, in Spiritfire, you are the story and building out your own character and interacting with realms. You're going to be mastering disciplines, utilizing a spark of life, and trying to overcome burdens that come to you. This is a solo game that you can share with other players, so in total, 2 other players can join you with this drop-in, drop-out multiplayer experience. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Wolfpack. I'm so excited to see you today because we're talking about Spiritfire. Now, Spiritfire is a game that I've been following since Gen Con 2022, been asking Orange Nebula about it, and today I'm going to tell you as much information as I personally know about this game. But honestly, I feel like the best way to put this is that this is an experience. This is an open world experience where you have options, and each section is going to tell you the different options that you have to choose from, because ultimately you're going to be learning from and interacting with the world, making connections, and having a lot of options for you to basically change the destiny, change your story, and make the world yours. So first off, let's talk about the resolve. So resolve lets you adapt to your situation so you can focus and draw more discipline cards. You can ignite to roll a new Spiritfire, and Spiritfire is going to act as your resource to fuel requirements for different cards. So for instance, if I have this card called Attune Nature and I use the orange Spiritfire, which is going to correlate with a specific type of attribute, then this one's going to allow me to get a bonus. That bonus says draw cards equal to the number of orange cards on this stack. That right there is one instance on how you would use Spiritfire, these dice. So back to the resolve, they have updated this in the version that you'll see later on. But in here, you can ignite. That means you can roll a new Spiritfire, the dice that we just talked about. Next, you can push. That allows you to move across the map using this map marker. Or this booklet here is called a spread. These act as little mini games. And the last action shown here in the resolve is clear. It allows you to clear your mind. So later on, you're going to be playing cards in this stack, and you don't want to accumulate too much. So clearing your mind allows you to clear off your cards. Now, the last part in this little section of a tableau is the flicker. Now, flicker is going to come either in a dry erase pad or like a write-on pad. So think of flicker as experience. You can use these to unlock new cards and use them to add new disciplines to your deck. This is how you're going to create conduits and how you unlock more sparks of life and overcome burdens. Now, that's one section of your tableau. Let's move on over here to the quests and encounters. So here you have realm progression. In this game, you're going to be able to spend a lot of time building out your character. And then the second portion of it is having this realm progression. As the story develops, you're going to be able to complete quests and encounters. These are going to grant you some milestone icons. Some of them also allow you to unlock hidden knowledge, which again increases different attributes for your character. And then if you move on over to the bottom left corner, these are your conduits and quirks. These are connections that you make with the world around you, and how you attune to these conduits and quirks is going to affect the new abilities and new effects that you'll gain access to. For instance, if you make a connection with Leggy Wingy Thing, this is a conduit, and the effect says when you combust, you can rekindle 1. Combustion means you roll 3 orange spirit dice. When that happens, you actually have to re-roll all of your dice. So when that combustion happens, Leggy Wingy Thing is going to allow you to rekindle. Rekindle means you can add a card back into your deck, so basically you have more sparks of life, which is the next section we're talking about. On the right side of your tableau is the spark of life. Think of this as your game timer. You draw these on your turn to see what Spiritfire you can use, and ultimately, if you run out of this deck, you run out of your sparks, which means your story ends. And lastly, what we kind of glanced over earlier is your challenges and the map. So think of the map as like the overworld, right? You're traveling to different cities and areas and interacting with different creatures, conduits. Think of your challenges as something that you zoom into and have this mini game. But then there are a ton of other types of unique spreads, like one where you're trying to unlock different gates as you progress through the little mini game here, or ones where you have complete freedom and you can go wherever you want. And then you also have these glowing rings where you'll need Spiritfire in order to unlock that specific section. And then you also can gain awards by pushing a ring towards those glowing attributes. And the last thing I want to mention is that when you play cards, you're going to play them in 2 different stacks. Depending on which stack that you play, a specific effect is going to trigger. For instance, if I were to play a card here and it says discard 1, if that card has an orange or green aspect, then decrease my focus mindset to 1. So that'll affect my resolve. Because in the game, you can actually increase your stats, which is all circulated around resolve. Now that is a first look at Spiritfire. I hope that helped you in some way. Bonza and I got to experience a very, very tiny snippet of a scenario, seeing all of these parts interact together, and it just blew my freaking mind. So I can't wait to like start this from campaign, like chapter 1, and seeing what options are available. But ultimately, this solo game is not a linear game in any sort of way. I'm completely oversimplifying it, and it's basically, here are all options that you have. Here's an open world sandbox. Craft your own character, make connections with conduits that you want to make connections with, basically like little pets and everything that you get to play around with and help you on your journey. And try to make the most out of your Spiritfire, which is your Spark of Life deck, while it's still burning. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you're hyped for Spiritfire down in the comments below. And if you made it here to the very, very end, go ahead and comment fire for the element that comprises this game. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.